to my light, which is matching to my top, which is matching to my neon light. I love being coordinated. Can you tell I'm a coordinated bitch and I love to see it, love? Hell yeah. Hi everyone, I'm Styleboy and welcome to my world. And sadly, welcome to the last week of Autism Acceptance Month. But not the last ever autistic video. Oh hell no, we got so many more coming up. Have you not seen my channel? We make so many. But yeah, it's the last week of Autism Acceptance Month, and I thought for this week, instead of going on a rant, because I originally planned for that, I thought why don't we end on a more positive note, and I'll share to you my favorite autistic creators. Now, as much as you guys watch me, I watch other people. I am inspired by other creators on different platforms, and honestly I just love it so much. So I wanted to share some of mine. Not only for my autistic folks out there, hey, so you have more people to follow and more people to feel seen in, but also for my neurotypical folks, hey there, you can learn from other people too. And you're just following a range, and as we say, diversifying the feed. I'm just really excited about this, but this is a perfect excuse for you to follow an autistic creator. You know, support them on their journey. And that means subscribe to me, please. Thank you. I sound like I'm begging. And without further ado, let's begin with the first creator. The first creator I want to shout out, although I'm just following her, like I really love her content, and I think I posted 2 of her stories this month, which is Aisha, who is a black autistic woman, and honestly, love to see it, love. She also is an environmentalist, so any of my environmentalists out there, you'll love her too. I just really like her TikToks and her reels that she posts, and I feel like that was like one with something that was very carefree about it, and I was like, mood, hun. The content that she produces is just really cool. She just posts a range, and there's one video I posted and I just love it from her. There's something about it that just felt very refreshing and comforting to me, so I love that in her content. So please go and follow her, because she's just such a, I don't know, there is a sense of comfort with her, so I think she's really cool. Go and follow her. And also please listen to Autistic POC, please include them in your activism. Include autistic queer people in your activism. Actually, talking about autistic queer people, let's go on to the next one. The next creator that I follow, who I just adore so much, they are just so fun as a creator. I just love their content so much. Their name is Ella Willis. They're on TikTok, but she's also on Instagram, and they post a lot of their reels onto their Instagram, which is so cool. Their content is just so fun. Also funny. There's like one, you know, the Euphoria, the Euphoria thingy? She uses one of them in their TikToks. I'll put the TikTok here.
Wait, is this fucking play about us?
I think also that led to such an interesting conversation in the comment section, which personally, anytime there's an interesting conversation in the comment section, I'm just like, yes, let me read all of them, let me digest it all. Munch. What is it? I love their range of different content, and I love not only the conversational pieces, because you feel like, wow, I've really been through that just conversation. Their honesty also. I think that's something that's gained from a lot of these creators, their honesty and their vulnerability, because I know that sharing about autism and about how you experience it can be quite intense sometimes and quite vulnerable, and I appreciate all these creators for doing that, and Ella is definitely one of them. And they make cute ass stuff. Do you see that weekly planner? Do you see how cute that is? Be tempted to buy. Yeah, honestly, their content also just makes me smile a lot. I'm just really glad to also be following another queer autistic person. If you notice on this pattern, I try to follow a range of autistic creators, because for me, that range of like different people, women, POC, queer autistic creators, and etc, for me, that brings me not even comfort, but it's refreshing, because again, I've always had a problem feeling like I wasn't autistic enough because of being gay. So to see so many autistic creators be diverse and showing that the spectrum is diverse, it's just, for me, very comforting and makes my heart warm, so I'm glad about that. So I guess next we'll go on to the first autistic creator I actually followed, and this was on YouTube. And I remember just scrolling through YouTube, and I think they came up recommended on one of my videos, and I was like, okay, let me just check her out. And I ended up just falling in love with her, and I subscribed, and that is Chloe Hayden. And not only that, but our girl is gonna be on a Netflix show. We love to see it, live. Chloe is autistic, has ADHD, and is chronically ill. Dual disabilities. They don't get spoken about enough. And actually, something that Chloe brings up quite a bit, and so do other autistic creators, and particularly one account, which I'll get onto later, is about how a lot of people with autism also have ADHD. But honestly, I love hearing and watching their content because there are things that I've learned about from her that I would have never known, and about ways to like be there for yourself, which is brilliant. But also like stimming. There's like one TikTok she posted which is like stimming, of like her stimming constantly. I stim very similar to her, like the jumping and the being excited. I do that when I'm really, really excited and happy, and I think to see that, it makes me go like, oh, that's my stim. Oh my god, brilliant. I never used to think I did stim, and now I do, and I'm like, bro, we love to see it. But also her content just makes me smile because she is just a ball of positivity. Oh, let me just say, girlie's Instagram feed, she knows what she's doing. Like, it is super cute, and I do love a lot of her posts. It's really cool just to see autistic people kind of using their voices. Again, it's not mandatory. I feel like I have to also stress that like not every autistic person has to use their voice. It's up to you if you want to or not. But it's so cool, especially for Chloe, because she's had such an outreach in Australia and such a huge audience, a huge stuff. Like she's also a motivational speaker, and just to kind of see it again makes me smile a lot. And yeah, I just really enjoy her content. So that's another one. I don't know. I just love sharing creators in general and artists, because I know that like usually for other months I usually do my view and a beat on like my favorite queer artists, my favorite black artists, etc. And this is maybe my way of doing it for autism. Following her, I think the next creator I followed next, if I'm correct, I followed next Kiddish Bambino, who is the black autistic king on TikTok, which his name is Timothy. He is someone I followed for a while. Was when I started getting into autistic content and kind of feeling seen, he was someone I followed. And again, a lot of his content just made me feel valid and made me feel seen, and I really like that. Something else that I do like is that he brings in the discussion of race into his videos. I know Aisha does the same, which is brilliant. We love to see that, but he does as well. I think there's like one he did with another autistic creator. I think his name was Trevor, about black autistic voices. I was like, yes. He also did the difference between how white autistics are treated versus black autistics, and that's really good because again, this discussion is so important to have within the discussion of neurodiversity and autism. It's really important to watch, and I'm really, really glad I do follow him. He does also singing, and he's an actor. We love the range. It's just really, really good to just, again, it's just feeling seen. Actually, then someone else I follow as well, who makes a lot of infographics. Her infographics are so good, and again, makes me feel freaking seen. Noodle Virgin Lou. Hey queen, how are you doing? She literally did one about autism and over apologizing, and honey, I feel seen. I over apologize all the time. So it's so good to have these discussions, because it's not just like meltdowns and whatever, but it's also stuff like autism and over apologizing, dim toy recommendations, self-advocacy, the black and white thinking, executive functioning tips, a range of content, like a full-blown range. And I think to kind of like see that, it's just such a good thing, because it also teaches me a lot. Not only teaches me, but again makes me feel seen. As particularly there's one called like the stages of meltdown. I literally said like in one of my videos, I'm still learning what the frick my meltdowns are. Seeing this kind of made me feel like, oh my god. Yes, particularly the trigger, because I always thought like, okay, what are my triggers? But it's like demands, which hell yeah, extreme emotions, making mistakes. Making mistakes particularly melts me down. And I've noticed that like if I do something wrong, I feel like the worst person on earth, and kind of just seeing those like, hey, that's you meltdowning. Maybe because of that, it's made me really think like, wow, maybe I do have more than one kind of meltdown. These things are so helpful, so I really, really appreciate her content. And talking about infographics, another autistic creator that I just really love, because they do doodles. I love doodles, I love drawings and stuff like that, which is Autism Sketches. They do so many good things. They had visuals to it, and visuals of their own drawings, which are so cute, by the way. Oh my god. The visuals really link up with what they speak about. And again, particularly when it's like stimming and what does stimming feel like, because you can see it. Like, so for neurotypical people who may not understand, that visual drawing is such a good way to like see it and to kind of be like, oh, that's what it feels like. But also as an autistic person, it's good to see and be like, that's how it feels. And like, of course, it means different things for different people, but I just love their content so much. And I've been following them for a bit, and honestly, I just adore them. And even like Autistic Joy. Like, Autistic Joy is a thing. I should do a video on that. They just love to see autistic creators. They just make me so happy. There's another autistic creator who's on TikTok, but they make the funniest videos. Like, my humor down to a T. Alora, my humor was so down, particularly in the Barbie series.
Barbie is a girl who gets a nutcracker toy as a gift. She falls asleep with him in her arms, but turns out he's alive. But we don't have time to unpack that because there's a mouse wizard. And guess what? The mouse wizard is evil, and it's also Tim Curry.
I love them because they're like comedian and they're dramatic as hell. But also it's funny because it's a lot of my humor, and I feel like because it's my humor, I'm just like, yes. Some of it is like peak my humor. I think particularly when they're talking about the ramps, peak comedy.
I'm sorry, sir, it appears you bought your ramp on wish.com.
She talks about her experience quite a bit, and it feels good. Again, anytime someone talks about their experience, it feels amazing. And again, personally, I just really enjoy watching stuff like that. They just know what's up. And the final account, I think I've shared this account so many times. To find out more autistic creators to follow, a really good account on Instagram is called Actually Autistic TikToks. And there's so many TikToks I've done. I've raved about her stuff so much. They do such an amazing job, and I love them so much for that. She posted a diverse range of autistic people, and it feels great. Autistic POC, autistic women, or non-binary autistic people, trans autistic people, queer autistic people, those with dual disabilities. It's so good to see. Like I was saying about earlier, there is that sort of comfort, and it feels good to know that there's so many other creators out there who are intersectional within identities. And for me, it brings me comfort, and it makes me feel even more seen. Even though I can't relate to every single TikTok they post because we all experience different things, it's good to learn from other people about their experiences, and we can share mutual experiences about certain things such as sensory overload, meltdowns, how there's some societal rules that we just don't understand, what stuff brings us autistic joy, and etc. And I'm hoping they know this, but with posting the content that she posts, like, they kind of made the community. I just love their content so much. So yeah, please go follow them also. I have so many more creators I could have spoken about. If you want a part 2, please let me know. I hope you did enjoy this video, and I hope to all the autistics you had a good autism acceptance month. Don't forget to subscribe, of course. Thank you so much for the love and support on this month's videos. They do mean a lot, and yeah, just thank you. I'll see you guys soon with the next video. Bye!